Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. We're filming on Riverside, so hopefully this quality is good, but also you get some incredible reels off the back of this, because this should generate better reels than Zoom. So you won't have any reels of Reece not answering a question and saying about how bad the question was. So yeah, welcome back, guys. Last episode with Josh Croggan went down pretty well. Probably going to get Josh on a bit more often. We spoke about that after the podcast last week, or Monday. We said we're probably going to get him on a bit more often because I feel like as a three, it works quite well. So we might have like one episode with Josh or another guest every week, which is the plan anyway, and then one just myself and Reece. Especially when the shows come round, we'll be reviewing the shows more. I am currently eating a meal after doing my cardio and everything. It's rest day for me. But I'm interviewing Reece today. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm interviewing him. So Reece has begun his prep for this year, although I don't think he's calling it a prep yet.
Not, honestly, I'm not doing the whole, like, I'm not doing what you're doing, which is a prep and not saying it's a prep.
No, it's not.
Mate, that's a bit of a... Mate, that wasn't funny. I wasn't trying to be funny there. You know, so I'm not doing a thing where I've got show dates, I have everything planned, but I'm just not telling anybody. I'm doing the exact same as last year. I'm just going to see how I look, and realistically, if I look the same...
But last year you competed, so it was a prep.
Exactly. But I also told people when it was a prep. Like, I basically said, I'm going to prep, but I don't know if I'm going to get on stage because I might look shit. And I'll tell people. And then about 4 weeks out, I was like, probably going to get on stage here. Yeah. Like, I remember saying, like, I've selected a rough idea of shows. But I even then didn't really know. So, yeah, I've started my pullback diet, whatever. But, like, and there's show dates in mind, 100%, and I'll tell them.
Yeah, can we go through them?
Sure. I've got no issue at all with that. But... as always, I genuinely
makes it to BTS TV. I hope this makes it to BTS TV.
Nah, man, I'm. They don't.
Mate, he loves the podcast. Literally, when I saw him at the weekend, he was like, "Mate, so good to see you two back on YouTube with the podcast."
Oh, well, mate, please, come on, give me a shout out, bro.
So this is gonna say Reece reveals IFBB Pro Card hunt. I'm sorry, mate, but it is.
Yeah, okay, so I can't mention PCA. Fuck. All right.
You can.
Basically. Yeah, so basically, the rough idea, and I don't know if I said this on a previous podcast, but the Two Bros calendar this year is just an absolute mess. I said this before, I know. So there's on the April 17th, I think it is, there's a Scottish Two Bros regional. Annoyingly, same date as Bebo, but I'm going to the Arnold next month, so Arnold's probably going to be a little bit better, I imagine, so I can get my bodybuilding kind of convention TikTok and the itch scratcher, which I got absolutely no itch after being at everyone last year. But I'm going there next month. So April 17th is a Two Bros regional. And then I think 2 weeks later, there's, to be fair, from that point, the pro qualifiers are pretty good. So 2 weeks later, it's the GASP Sweden Pro Qual, which I've always heard really good things. I got a fair few messages about that, like last year. They were like, you should do this show. And I had like 2 people I knew that did it, and they said to me it was really good. I think 2 weeks after that, if I wasn't to win a pro card, which let's be honest, I probably won't, like at the first attempt.
Not with that mindset.
Nah, I'm being honest. Like, and also as well, like, I don't really want to turn up and just be like, cool, I've won a pro card in one pro qual. Like, as cool as it would be, and of course, I'd much rather win one than not. I'm not going to fly to a different country and be like, hope I lose.
We've seen it so many times, though, haven't we? Like, you need to get your name out there.
Yeah, exactly. And also as well, like, it's so silly of me to be like, I'm going to win a pro card. I've never even got into a fucking NPC overall. So it's like, until say, if I was to be like, oh, one.
You've only ever come dead last. You've only ever come dead last in NPC.
Nah, I got second out of 3. I beat that horrendously.
Third out of 3?
No. Arnold's. Do you not remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I beat probably, arguably, maybe one of the worst men's physique competitors of all time.
Yeah, but, I mean, you only lost to Jack Eagle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm basically the same at this point. But yeah, so do that show, see kind of how I stack up. Realistically, like, just kind of, again, get the qualification ticked off. And then from that point, like I said, 2 weeks till Sweden, 2 weeks till PCA Universe, which I don't know who's doing PCA Universe, but I'd like to say that, like, it would be quite cool to get, like, a top 2 to 3. I think I could potentially could win that, if I'm honest, with what PCA look for. And then I think it's a week later, it's like the Muscle Fest Island one, so I'm hoping I can do a Larry Wheels and use my social media and say, I've got the most followers, please give me a pro card, and pay off whoever Larry did. And then I think a week later, if I wasn't, it's the Amateur Olympia in Spain, which, I mean, considering that, like, I spoke to a few people, like, what Emiliano-like shape, I'd say I'm probably a little bit more towards that side, and as well, like, that's top 3 in the overall. But then at the same time, if I'm honest, if I'm being completely transparent, I think the high likelihood is, if I was to bet, I do the first regional. I realise I look all right, but I'm probably not at the level yet, and then I just basically either rebounds / kind of do the PCA show, or I do one pro qual just to see, and then I do end of the year, because when you competed within Two Bros, you could do legitimately any pro qualifiers for the remainder of the year. So I'd then probably just do pro quals in November, December. And with the way that I'm going, like, I 100%, in my opinion, will be like, this year, I think if I was to do 5-10 pro quals, I'll get there, right? In my opinion. I don't think there's many guys, especially in the UK, that are better than me. There's a few, there's a fair few, for open bodybuilding, but all the time spent and how quick I'm responding, I think, like, towards November, December, I think that would be the best sort of approach. So it's like, do the first pro qual, regional, get that box ticked. Do maybe one pro qual, maybe PCA Universe while I'm there. Do the exact same that I've done for the last 3-4 months, which is basically just hard, aggressive rebound out. Then start prep basically again, do back end of the year. And I think especially considering, like, this approach doesn't make a lot of sense. If I said, like, Finn, if I said to you, hey bro, I'm going to compete, let's say October, November, let's say sort of times, then I'm going to compete again in April, May, and then I'm going to compete again in November, December. That'd be like, it's silly. It's not really having much off season, but I also am getting better, like, considerably by, in my opinion, every time I look at myself, I'm like, oh fuck.
What impact does that have from a anabolic standpoint?
So, luckily, in my opinion, I always say this, like, I think only with the peptides, this is only going to be, in my opinion, beneficial, because I haven't, like, had to really push that hard, PED wise, within open bodybuilding, and I mean that, like, I used less in my last prep, when it came to, like, total stack than I did in 2023, and looked completely different. Obviously, there's a lot of peptides involved, and with the long-term data, we don't know if there's anything potentially bad, and there potentially will be. But if you look at, like, immediate health markers, a lot of things are better, which in turn, and as well, the whole prep process is way easier from a physiological standpoint. Like, in previous preps, my training has been horrendous towards the end. It's been really positive, and then you just hit a wall, where this time it's like my recovery's not really been too impactful. I'm staying way more insulin sensitive, because, like, anybody that knows, especially assisted bodybuilding, like, if you were to push up GH, a lot of people will say, oh, well, then insulin resistance is going to occur. But it's like, well, look at MOTC, look at retatrutide, these things bring down that. And you can basically just almost leverage lesser size over a longer period of time. So when I'm rebounding, I can be really, really aggressive and still stay, like, as much as, like, I'll joke saying 300 pounds lean, I'm not lean. I'm not that fat for 300 pounds. And, like, if I compare that to previous, I'm like, well, this surely has to show. And again, a good amount of it's going to be glycogen, water, that sort of super compensated effect that you're going to have after a prep or a diet. But, like, I was 287 this morning, and, like, I looked leaner than when I started prep before at, like, 270, and I'm like, oh, quite cool. So, yeah. We'll see. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that, like, based on, like, the muscle mass that you've got. I don't think you need to spend, like, loads of time away. No. But obviously, from an anabolic standpoint, I don't know the impact that it has, because, like, surely if you were to have, like, a longer off season, maybe more time where you'd be quote unquote off, or at least at, like, a closer to TRT kind of dose.
I'd say if you were to but, like, I spent, let's say this post prep period, I've only had this year where I've been, like, super physiological, and realistically, like, I say super, my cruises are somewhat super phys, but they're an open super phys, so it's like, usually I'd say anywhere.
That's what you say when you're being a fucking idiot, though. Like, is that not what people just say, like, oh, but they're actually being stupid?
Yeah, because you can still be, like, there's not like you got to remember, man, it's not like your body goes, oh my god, I'm on less than 200 milligrams of gear, immediately health markers going to improve. Like, health markers will improve, let's say if you were to be doing, like, 700 milligrams, but you're usually doing 2,000, 700 is going to be better, but that doesn't mean that 700 is going to be safe, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
and that, for reference, I'm not doing 700. I'd say most open bodybuilders will be cruising on probably, like, 3 to 5.5 milligrams per kilo of body weight. So let's say you're 120 kilos, so let's say 100 frees, you're probably anywhere from 300 to 550 milligrams, which for me was like 350 to 400. So that's like, if you were to look at, like, legit TRT, that's probably like 150 to 200. But most people don't do legit TRT anyway, you know. So it's like most people say, oh, sports TRT, and that's 300, and they throw in this and they throw in that, and, like, you'll have guys that aren't even competitive within bodybuilding doing shit like that. So yeah, I think the only thing I've really pushed a lot harder is just GH, which I've obviously spoken about pretty openly. And as a result, I feel like that's the reason why obviously GH usually run into insulin resistance, but then you can take peptides to bring it down. So it's like you can kind of minimize the sides. And I don't really hold that much water. So when people go, oh, you hold loads of water, so I don't really seem to hold that much. So yeah, and also as well, like I know I'm not going to be in the game for like the next 10 years unless I'm progressing at a good rate, and even then I don't think I will. So it's like get in, make the most out of it now, compete while I'm healthy in the sense of like my body, and also as well like I mean like joints and shit. You don't know what's going to happen. I could get injured again, touch wood, and I could maybe not compete. So it's like while I'm in this position, I'm just going to keep going and almost just ride the momentum and just see what happens. And like again, I'm in no almost like denial. I probably won't do as well this year because I'm doing harder shows. Like if you said to me that I get second in a super heavies, I then get third at PCA Universe, and at Pro Qual I get fourth or fifth, I'd be like, I'm not really surprised by that. But also, I think if you said to me, oh, I get first in an overall and then I win a Pro Card this year, I'd be like, yeah, I think that's also doable. And I also don't really care. Like I'm just going to see how I am. It's just jumping in against big dudes and just seeing how I do.
Cool.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Don't think so. Yeah. So how many shows, how many opportunities would that be at getting a Pro Card?
So if it depends. I'll do I'm trying to think who's like do a Hader. Do you remember when he just like did like about 1 million Pro Calls in a row?
Did you win one in it?
Yeah, he did. But like I'm pretty sure it was like I can't remember. Maybe it was Callum put like his 9th Pro qualifier in a row, and it's like Jesus Christ, bro's like spent 15k on competing for a fucking plastic card. Which to be fair, I can't say because he's a pro, I'm not, so fair play. But yeah, so if I was to do the first shows, there's 2 weeks later. It's that Swedish one, which is just the overall. Then I think 2 weeks later it's Universe, which obviously isn't a pro qualifier, but it's a pro show for PCA. And then a week later it's the Muscle Fest, and a week later it's the Champion. So out of that, I think there's 5 pro card opportunities, 2 for an overall, and then top 3 in the overall for the But then also look at the pro quals. Like once I do that, I can then just do like I said November, December. And the reason why I didn't mention on this video, the reason why I'm tempted to do that is because all the regionals for 2 bros are then in September. And like last year, I had like a good split between clients competing like mid and end. This year it's like 97% at the end. So it's like if I was to do the September regional, I don't now have all my
last year. Like, I only had one, maybe. I had Mikey.
Yeah, I think it was just Mikey, wasn't it? Yeah.
I had Owen.
Yeah.
I had a few that did like earlier, but not many. And then end of the year, I had loads.
Yeah, and it was like.
Whereas this year, I've got quite a few in the early shows, which is exciting because
I think it kind of like you rotate, don't you? So like next year, it wouldn't surprise me if I have loads more like in the midpoint. Like I had like 9 or 10 clients on stage by like that first like 2-month block. Yeah. And this time it's like I literally only have like 2 guys in prep, like maybe 3 or 4 at most. So it's like not a lot, and then loads.
Quite nice though. Like I remember thinking when I had Mikey, it was like Mikey was the only one who did like June. It was like this is quite nice, like going to a show and just having one person that you win.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, and then like if I was to do September, the September pro quals aren't that good. I'd have to wait till like November, December, and then from a health standpoint, trying to then like maintain that sort of look or then continue to dig, but also as well like I have clients let's say every week on stage in September, and I'm like, oh yeah, Sam, I can't go to PCA first time as well. I've got 4 or 5 guys on because I'm going to a pro qualifier, which is like I just don't really get that sort of vibe. Like. It's just a bit of a challenge. If I didn't have clients, I'd do September. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd do a little reset here just to get me a bit more sensitive. I'd go back up to 310, 315, 320, and then I'll start prep. And
that's a good segue. I was watching Niall Darwin's YouTube the other day when I was driving. I mean, I wasn't, guys, for anybody listening.
Had it on the background.
No, I had it on while I stopped off. I was on the way back from Manchester, and I was about to go and train pull. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to sit and have my meal. I stopped off at an Aldi, had my meal, and like looked on YouTube, and it was the first thing that came up. It was like my pull session or something. I was like, oh, sick.
I've never watched Niall, but I love him. Like I think it's
he's sad, mate. Like he's just himself. He comes across really well. Yeah. So yeah, I basically watched that, and he was like, right, so that's me done for today. He literally like gets up, eats, trains. He was like, I'm just gonna go home and play Skyrim, and I was like, that's mental, isn't it? Like, this isn't me like giving him any shit. Like, I think that's fucking class that he's able to do that, because obviously sponsors pay him and stuff like that, and he's a very fucking good bodybuilder. He's fifth in the world in classic. Like, but like, I was relating that to myself and to you, and I was thinking, like, imagine if like we didn't run the gym. Imagine if we didn't have clients.
Yeah.
How much do you think that would impact your level of progress? Like, do you think you'd be able to progress at a much faster rate? Do you think you'd end up resenting the process a bit because you'd feel like you're not doing enough? Like, you know, I like the fact that I love my routine and I like being busy.
I definitely think so. I remember I was walking through Washington, Georgetown, really cool place.
Yeah, as you do, yeah.
Yeah, walking through Washington, and I was actually having the same chat with my mum, and I think we mentioned Nick Walker. I think it was when Nick followed me around that sort of time, and it was where, like, I said, like, there's obviously, you know, Dorian Hamilton, the guy who owns, I think I told you this.
Yeah.
His bio was like,
yeah, he was saying you'd much rather have that.
Yeah, he's got this, he's got that. And I said to Abster, like, and she was like, what would you rather have? Like, because we were just talking, and I was like, about completely different ends of the spectrum. And it's like, would you rather be a top 5 Olympian, or potentially like a guy who is still a very good bodybuilder? I don't think Dorian's a pro, but he's coached pros. But you coach elite pros. You have one of the probably the best gym in the world. You have a kit supplier. You've got supplements. And I was like, I'd rather the business. Like, that's what motivates me. Like, but then also I think that's mainly because I think bodybuilding has always been like a side quest of like how now I was like, I'm going to play Skyrim. I'm kind of like that with the gym. No, it's like with me going to the gym, like training, like bodybuilding. Like, I don't view bodybuilding like it's my entire life. I remember being on the FitX panel, and Dan Bastic's wife, partner, Romana, she was like, I say made out, it's fair play, it's how she is. She was like, bodybuilding is everything, it's everything she does, it's all she thinks about. And it's like, in the off season, I think I'm such a part-time bodybuilder because I don't think about bodybuilding. Like, I don't watch bodybuilding content that much. The only bodybuilding content I consume helps me coach, but I'm not like watching Niall train. Like, I really like Niall, but I wouldn't watch his session and go, yeah, man, I'm going to train like Niall today, or I'm going to take so much motivation from that. It's nothing personal. I just don't do that to anybody. So I think it's a bit of a challenge. Like, in essence, I think if you like think about it for us, if we could have as many naps as possible, we can sleep for as long as we want, we have minimal stress, 100% of the time, so that's going to be like beneficial. But I also think a lot of times where, especially in a prep, I would hate to just sit around.
You're going to say, would it be minimal stress though, or would it create more stress?
Yeah,
I think that would create more stress. I think I'd feel like I could be doing more, or I'd feel like you say, like I'm overthinking things a lot if I didn't have enough to do. Like, I think being busy is an absolute blessing. Like, especially within a diet. Like, if you're just like sat around, again, this isn't related to Niall anymore, but if you're like, you know, some of my clients who are maybe going into a diet or prepping, if you're not busy, like, they're the ones who struggle the most. They're the ones who message me the most about food. They're the ones who speak most about food in their check-ins. Whereas, like, I have people who are just busy and like, yeah, mate, another good week. Like, just keep them busy. Like, yeah, I'm hungry, but of course I'm dying. Like, that's it. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah. But I think, again, like, that's the amateur level, and I think it really does depend. And like, realistically, let's be honest. Let's say, for example, if we were getting like, let's say, contracts from like dark sports and stuff like Niall's getting, and again, that's nothing like saying like, give us like whatever, like Niall's earned that. Would we want to be coaching the same amount of people? Probably not. You know, like, if, let's say, for example, a big company spoke to me and said, we will pay you X amount, I'm probably not going to immediately be then like, right, cool, coaching slots available. I'd probably almost, you know, you naturally would. You'd be like, sick, this is making up a large majority of my income potentially.
Yeah, you'd pull back a little bit on it. But I still would want to coach.
I would. I 100% would, but it would be a bit more selective. Like, look at, let's say, someone like Dorian, like, where it's like, it's not for Dorian Hamilton, it's not where he's coaching just like Joe blogs or whatever. It's like top end IFBB pros, aspiring top end IFBB pros, like that sort of level. So it's like, again, it's so challenging without being there. And at the end of the day, Niall has coached, but nobody views Niall as a coach, you know.
Yeah, I think once you get to that level, nobody views you as a coach anyway, unless you're maybe like John Jewett. You know what I mean? Like,
but John Jewett isn't more of an educator / like his whole content isn't really.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you see him, you don't really see him as a bodybuilder, even though he's a very good bodybuilder. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, any of the top Olympia guys, you see them as bodybuilders. You don't see them as educators or coaches, even if they do educate and coach.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, it's a good point, to be fair. But again, I think it really depends on the situation, and we only know what we've done. And again, we're very much motivated by business, not really by our physiques. Like I said, I think we just do it out of habit and choice and enjoyment, but not through like meticulous. I need to be the top 0.1%, or I need to make
sure. I never think like that. Like even like we've always joked, haven't we? Like when people train and they're like shouting like "Come on, first place" or "big legs" or something like that. And it's like, mate, I'm just training because I enjoy it, and I like pushing myself and like
legs on stage, mate.
Like, we just laugh at that when we like say that as a joke, won't we? So I think that's kind of how we've always been. Even when we were younger, like when we were training like that back then, it was just like training hard for the fun of it. It wasn't like think about how much you can grow from this. Like we never really bothered about that.
Yeah, I did a reel the other day, and again, I don't know if I said this to Sinai the other day, and I was like, you need to stop looking at like your physique, for progress. Like we never, like in that whole lockdown, I don't think we posed in front of each other once. Like
maybe prepping one hour, maybe a couple.
Oh yeah, to be fair, actually, no. That 2021, like when I was prepping afterwards, like we didn't pose at all, and I don't think I've ever asked you. Man,
like now we don't pose, like.
Yeah, like no, but like, do you think my arms are growing? Do you think my chest is growing? It's like why the fuck do you care? Like, I think again, like it depends on what you enjoy. Like we would literally go into the gym or our shed, my shed, and just fucking push ourselves for 3 hours on a leg day.
I think as well, I say this to clients, like if you're asking if a body part is growing, you probably know you're not doing something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't like question like, is this growing? Like I know that areas will grow if I'm nailing everything. If I'm on top of my sleep, my food, and my training. If I'm even now, like when I'm dieting, like all my training's still progressing, or like 95% of it is still progressing really well. Like, and I'm getting great connections, and my sessions are really productive and stuff like that. Like, if you're doing that, like, yeah, you're going to be able to grow. Like, I don't need to assess and measure everything and compare my photos and stress out about it. Just fucking do what you know is going to help you grow, and do it over and over and over again. Like, yeah, of course you'll grow. Like, even if it's one body part's a bit slower, or one body part holds a bit more body fat, so you can't see it as much.
And also, like, let's be honest, like, this is coming from, like, let's say you who is a British title holder, mate, and me who's an assisted bodybuilder. Have we ever looked at ourselves and thought, like, have you ever in your entire life looked at yourself within the same phase and thought, I can see progress, like, within a short period of time?
Yeah, because you have to compare it. You look back over, like, 6 months, you go, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And this is, like...
that is one thing that I did notice that. Like, very rarely you'll feel it.
Yeah.
You might more than me, but, like... When I was probably a few weeks into this diet, I posed in the dumbbell room downstairs. Like, just literally took my top off. I didn't properly pose. I just took my top off, and I was like, "Fuck, I've never looked like that before." Like, and I actually noticed it. You know what I mean? Because I'd not posed in there for a while.
And also, that's because you've lost body fat, which is not. I'm also talking like actual muscle growth, like body fat's pulled off. Like, I posed today, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I've got lines on my legs that I did not have 5 days ago," and I was like, "This is pretty cool." Like, literally 5 days, and I can see changes. But that's body fat. Like muscle. I don't, and like, let's say my prep, I was getting messages being like, mate, this is the fastest I've ever seen anybody respond. And I could only tell by photos. And even then, when I looked to myself, I thought I looked the same. It wasn't until, like, I remember being at that FitTech show when, like, funnily enough, at Simmer I took my top off and everyone was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what? Really? Look all right? Cheers, guys. Like, sound.
I also think as well, like, towards the end of your last prep, like, it's the same with me, mate. Like, obviously, I just put that photo on Instagram. People are like, what the fuck? You've grown so much. Like, I've grown. But I also just regained a lot of muscle. Like, like regaining that tissue is a lot easier than like gaining new muscle. Like people who, let's say, didn't maybe follow me before, and maybe have just followed me recently, and they see that and they go, "What the fuck? He's grown like loads." It's like, yeah, but I actually wasn't that bad. I just ran myself into the ground and looked awful for a bit, and then like regained it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the same like for me for like 2023 into 2025, and also even this year. Like, I'll be 15 pounds heavier, but it's like 8 of that is my left leg. Like, that's not like, you know what I mean? Like, I had one leg. So, I think it's one of those, like, again, progress is so hard to gauge, but the most important thing is just focus on your training. And, like I said, like, I've never, within the same phase I'm in, unless it's a prep, but an off-season, I've never done a session and posed and gone, oh my God, my chest is way bigger than it was a month ago. And, like, I could run whatever I want. I could do whatever I want. I could just throw health out the window. But realistically, I know physique is like, it takes time. Finn, do the mute yourself just because it's doing the, it picks up audio.
All good.
A little bit louder.
Huh?
One of the boys must have turned the music up or something.
What, can you hear the music in the background?
Yeah, I could hear the beat, but it's not bad. It just for some reason was picking up a little bit louder then.
It might be that someone's just turned it up. Sorry guys, I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm in my insane asylum room, as you can see.
Yeah. So, Finn, going back to what we said at the start, you want to speak about your diet? Any updates? Anything you'd like to share?
I had a new low this morning.
Yeah.
83.5. Had a high day on
You had a high day the other day, you said, and you gained like 8 kilos.
No, I didn't. I gained 0.7 of a kilo.
Okay.
So I had a high day on Monday. I weighed in quite light on Sunday. That was after the bodybuilding seminar day. And then I also picked Megan up from the airport that night. So like my last meal was like, I ate a bit later, but my last meal was further away from my weigh-in time because I woke up later because I went to bed later picking Megan up. So I weighed in like 84 kilos then. Then I came back up a little bit, which was just normal because of eating at normal times again the next day and not being at the bodybuilding seminar. And then had the high day on the Monday, jumped up another 0.7. So I went from 84 to 85.4. And then a day later, came down to 84.1. So lost like 1.3. And then down to 83.5. So like my body's, I feel really good. Like I actually do. And it's quite nice because I've not felt like this for a long time. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'd say around about the time that we were opening the gym, I started to feel myself again. I think when I got my house, when we got the gym, and it was like, oh, my life's like...
You weren't sleeping on a fucking cupboard.
Yeah, like my life's coming together again. And it was like, I knew it was going to get to that point, but it obviously just took a while, like obviously with like everything that went on and then being at my dad's for a bit whilst we were waiting for the keys for the gym and then waiting for the keys for my house whilst we were in the gym. And it was just like, I think back and it's like, it was fine. Like I was fine, but that's it. I was fine. I wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like I remember, I was literally thinking this the other day. Like there'd be times where you'd come in and joke about the music that I had on, about me being depressed, and I was like, "Yes, mate, I am depressed," and you'd like laugh about it, and I'm like, "I am," and I wouldn't be laughing. I'd be like, "No, like I legit am." Like, yeah, of course I am. Like I literally live in the gym. I sleep in a fucking cupboard, mate. Like what do you expect? I used to eat my fucking dinner on that little desk in darkness, like.
Yeah. And this is the most insane thing was this is when the upstairs was like actually sound. You could have just
I could have slept anyway.
This is when I was like the upstairs was sound. We had like the room set up, so Finn could have had a room at least and just like had a mattress on the floor. But it's like no, cool, go sleep on there. Then
I just had my setup, and it was productive because I would go in, like it was pitch black and cold, and it wasn't that uncomfortable, and I'd just sleep and I'd just wake up and get up, and it was like sound.
If I didn't have Sanaya, my life would literally be like.
Mate, if you didn't, this isn't me being a dick. If you didn't have Sanaya and your mum, I don't know how you'd survive.
Oh God,
mate, I'm not being a dick. Literally, I'm being serious.
I am a minimalist, mate. I don't need.
No. You don't know how to do anything.
Oh great, here we go. this, that. Well, to be fair, you want to hear something funny? Yeah, I got a new phone today. Guess who bought me the phone?
Your mum?
Yeah, do you know why? So, like, I thought I was like gonna put a photo up, being like, "Mum bought me a new phone, guys, yay!" Because I paid for America, so like she owed me like a bit of money, and this phone's been a bit shit recently, and she got a new one that she hasn't opened. So I was like, "Just give me that if you want." I was kind of joking, but I was like, "Just give me that instead of paying me." And then she was like, "I can get you a phone if you want." I was like, "If you want, sound." So she was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll do this." So I got hooked up. My mum bought me a new phone, guys. So 27, still don't buy my phones or anything like that. And
100% your mum pays for your contract.
No, I pay for that.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, I could show you that, mate. 100%. I'm not that much of a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. So
anyway, yeah. So diet's going well, feeling good. I looked pretty naff on the Saturday before the high day. On the Monday, hence why I put in a high day, and then obviously looked a bit better on the Monday.
What was the high day?
Like an extra 200 carb, pretty much, like 525. It's not like loads, but I did feel good for it. Like that was noticeably like a good amount of food. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's not crazy. I wasn't like, oh my god, I can't fucking eat this. I'm so full. But it was like a good amount. Digested well, trained really well. Did an extra set on like hip thrusts because I felt good, like things like that obviously I'd not maybe done for a couple of weeks. So yeah, feeling pretty good. Just done obviously rest day today, cardio, 20 minutes on the stairs. I do my abs and my calves on rest days, just because I feel like productivity is higher. And my leg days are so much better for not doing that, which is crazy. Like,
but I'm not doing those isolation stuff.
Do abs and calves at the start of every leg day, and like that would take maybe 30 minutes, and that's like 30 minutes of
abs and calves. Really? How many sets are you doing? Like 7 each?
No, if you think like, let's say you walk into the gym.
Yeah.
I'll do maybe 10 minutes on the treadmill, and then I'm supersetting abs and calves, and like each set maybe takes a minute, and then you're resting for a couple minutes between. It's a good half an hour that's gone there, like pretty easily. So like that's obviously been taken away. So I'll just literally do steps, and I'm straight into legs. And my leg sessions feel better. My abs and calf quality of my work feels better. It gives me something to still like have some movement in on a rest day. Obviously I do cardio and do steps anyway, but it's working pretty well. But yeah, that's really that.
Yeah, ready to get into the questions?
Yeah, I didn't put a questions box up because I was going to interview you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Mate, you only asked me one question. I asked you the same. I got a fair few actually.
I actually asked a few questions.
Okay,
I went down different routes.
Okay, well, mate, I've got fucking questions for days, bro. So
yeah, they're all going to be fucking.
No, mate. So this is the first one. Okay. Thoughts on MBW jumpers and Joe Rogan shoes. So Joe Rogan shoes are the toe thing you used to have. What are they called?
Vibrams.
Vibrams, yeah. So what's your thoughts on MBW jumpers, mate?
I think they're fine, but Jack Kinsey Clough was wearing one, and he's not natural, so I was really like thrown. I was like, "What? I don't think you're allowed to wear that, mate."
Yeah, that means I can wear one. What the fuck?
I mean, anyone can wear one. I don't think anyone should be allowed.
Yeah, I've heard. I heard there's a rumor they only go up to XL. Is that true? Because there's no natty that needs a big.
I don't know. I think it should be where if it should have like material in it where if you wear it and you've taken any anabolics or anything, it just burns into your skin. Then we'd feel
I'm not gonna lie. I'm tempted. You know, like if I have clients do the MBW this year to get one and just rock it, like just turn up and be like, "Sup, guys?" You know.
I don't know what the biggest sizes that they do.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, regardless. And then Vibrams, mate. What are your thoughts on Vibrams? You used to train in them, mate. Jesus Christ. Was that compare the depression from sleeping on a cupboard to wearing Vibrams?
There's nothing wrong with Vibrams. They don't look the best, but they're good for training. I'll stand by that.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
What's the difference? No, but just take your shoes off. What's
I agree. You can grip a bit better.
Okay, fair enough. I've never worn them. The only thing I would think of is like, are they soft? Like, when you walk outside, if you step on something, do you feel it?
Yeah.
Because my feet are like very sensitive. I've got extremely
really gay.
I've got extremely gay feet, guys. It's like I've got gay hands, so when I have a coffee, I need the little like cover thing, so if not burn my hands. I've got a gay mouth because not of semen going in my mouth, but I'm not good when it comes to hot things in my mouth. Of the semen kind, actually. And then my feet are so sensitive. I can't, like when you play football when you were younger, and like you play like stockless or whatever. Like I could never do that because my feet would get battered just from stepping on like an odd like mound of mud.
Yeah.
Like, why can all the lads I played with, like they'd walk home barefoot, and I'm like,
you're a massive pussy.
I am. Yeah, I've just got gay hands, mouth, everything actually.
Arsehole.
I don't know about that. I'd have to do some tests or whatever. They're like, so we've done some tests for your arse. Turns out you're not gay, but there's loads of semen in there, so you might be gay, bro. Right, top 4 monster flavours ranked in order. 4's a bit of a weird number. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if there is 4.
Megan rates everything out of 7.
6, 7?
Not 5, not 10, 7. Everything out of 7. She's like, it's just a better scale. Yeah, I agree.
That being said, I'll be honest, a 5 out of 10 sounds pretty shit, but it's still half.
Yeah, but that's like 3.5 out of 7. Still sounds shit.
Yeah. Like if I said to you, like, oh mate, like your physique's a 5 out of 10, you'd be like, cheers, mate, that's a bit shit.
But that's my average. I'll take that.
Yeah, but if I was like, bro, you're 3.5 out of 7, you'd be like, no, it's alright, it's not bad. Or like 2.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5, I'll take.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, top 4 monster flavors. I think white number 1.
Pink.
Is that the one that tastes like the white?
Yeah, it's Ultra Rosa.
Oh no, the Ultra Rosa. That's not that's like very much like a white monster, but it's like a pink lemonade sort of version.
No, I don't know. It's just Ultra Rosa.
Okay. Let me search this.
Peachy Keen.
Yeah.
And then the red one actually. Red and then Peachy Keen maybe.
Okay, so I'm gonna go white number 1, obviously. I'm gonna say, what? I'm actually gonna go number 2. What's that?
What are you googling?
Just monsters, so I can see which ones there are. So I'm gonna go. The VR 46 sugar-free one, the Rossi one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've not had it.
Oh, mate, it's really nice. It's this one. It's that one there, the yellow one, but it's the 0 cal one. That's really good. That's like arguably, when people are like, it's better than the white. I could understand why some people probably would prefer it to the white. I think that's really nice.
Surprised you're even answering this question.
Yeah,
You're
mate.
usually a dick and like,
It's because it's my client. It's Hugh. I'm gonna be nice to my clients. I can't be dicks. Please keep paying me, Hugh. I need your money. So yeah, I go that, and then did you ever have the blue, like the ones you can only get abroad, like the blue and the
yeah,
red?
I don't think it's that good.
Okay, fair enough. I quite like the red one, and then I go
I had a
again.
blue one in Vegas and I was buzzing about it. Like, I took a photo of it with the Vegas strip and I was like, it doesn't even taste that good.
Okay. So yeah, like the purple one, the grape one. That's okay. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with the purple one. The purple one probably is fifth. Did you ever have the yellow, just lemonade one? Like it was like yellow. There's an orange one that tastes like Fanta as well. But yeah, there's like an old like yellow lemon one. It got discontinued like 2019. I'd have that. But yeah, genuinely, since the turn of like post COVID, I don't think I've had another monster other than the white, the rosa, and then the VR46 one. I've had like a sip out of that peachy keen one. So I remember when you were in prep and you were like, mate, it's so good, and I was like, that's not very nice.
I haven't had a monster in months now.
Yeah. No.
And like the other day, I nearly had one at that bodybuilding seminar. I took one from the fridge and I was like, oh, today's a perfect day. I might have one. I'll be walking about quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then just in my head, I'm like, I just don't want to like break this streak.
No. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm the same. Like, I had like a serious amount of guilt when I had like maybe 7 or 8 in prep, and I had like a serious amount of guilt when I had one. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I just feel like I don't need them. Like I saw Sanaya crack one open the other day, and I was like, I don't need that. Like, I'm not. Like,
No.
I do like them. There's nothing wrong with a monster, but like, I say there's nothing wrong with a monster. My digestion 100% is better if I have a coffee instead of a monster.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Yeah. Like you have one, and then like you're burping for the next like check-in or two. That's not going to be good for you.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So yeah, 100%, mate. Right. Make a 5-star team with your own clients. You're managing. Who's winning? You, because your guys are more than that.
Yeah, Noah in goal. He used to be a very good keeper.
Okay. I'm say Conroy in goal for me.
Josh Dandy used to play for Norwich. Did he say Norwich and Ipswich? He was on the books. Told me that the other day. So Josh Dandy will be in there. I've got to play. I'll be player manager because I'm fucking sick.
I am definitely not going to play. I am going to be actually just the manager. I wouldn't even know for me. I know Conor Flanagan was telling me that he plays football and he's not that heavy. So I'm trying to think like men's physique, smaller bodybuilders. Like who's going to be still more agile.
Yeah, I don't know who else.
Yeah, the thing is like it's
I
not
definitely will have lads who have been at clubs.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you're one of my clients and you're watching this, if you like played football at a decent level, let me know.
Yeah. Let us know because we can definitely sort this out and 100% have follow through with it. Then
we'll do it. Yeah,
we'll definitely do it because it was one of my clients who asked. So I've got to be nice. Right, go to meal / cheat meal after shows. That's not Five Guys. Never had a Five Guys after a show. Like, yeah.
You had a shake.
Yeah, I had a shake. But yeah, in the previous preps, like genuinely, I think I've had 1 Five Guys post prep, and that was because of the MBW. I just read MBW meetup, the fucking Team Off It meetup, MBW meetup. Yeah. I've got like Five Guys PTSD.
I just don't think Five Guys is really that good. Like, I think it's massively overrated. I think I like a good burger.
Yeah.
I think a really good burger and nice like sweet potato fries.
Your opinion changed because after your prep in 2020, the first meal that we got, you were like, bro, Five Guys is so good, you'll love it, I promise.
No, after 2020.
Yeah, your prep. We had one after Rotherham. We went to Rotherham.
Oh, that's fucking years ago, mate.
Oh, mate, it doesn't matter. Finn was like, that's my first ever burger. I never had like an actual like beef burger.
You liked it though?
Yeah, it was good. It was decent. Yeah. But you hyped it up, and I was like, it's good.
Yeah, I was a kid back then. Want to hype everything up?
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, teens now.
I would say post-show meal. It depends. Like, if I'm thinking of how I feel right now, I'd probably say just something like Giggling Squid or like a nice like Asian place or maybe even like Mexican. But post-show, that's not how you're thinking. Like, you're going and eating 10,000 calories of desserts.
Literally. Or you go and get a slice of pizza. You make everyone get a different slice of pizza so you can try each one. Like, right, let's go to Rudy's, but let's get the entire menu over a table of 9 people. And that's
Was that what I did?
No, you didn't make it out, but you basically were like, you have that, and then I have a slice of this, and I have a slice of that. Reece, can I have a slice of that? I was like, if you want. And I remember, like, you literally...
Honestly, like, I'm not even joking, right? People like, ask me, like, now and again, or, like, conversations come up about, like, that prep. I honestly think I've wiped so many things from my memory. Like, I don't remember. Like, if you'd have said, where did we go for food after my show, that last show, I honestly forgot that we went for pizza.
Yeah, we went to Rudy's, we sat in the corner, walked in the door.
I can remember now.
Yeah. And like I said, you didn't ask, but you basically were like, can I have a slice of everyone's pizza? I think you did like a circular motion of like, you had like 2 of yours, and then you were Reece, trade, and I was like, I'm quite happy, mate. Like, you can have a slice of mine if you want. And you were okay. And you were like, Mum,
so
trade.
Yeah. What the I hate that. Is what I hate about like bodybuilding and prep and like that getting into that headspace where like
it's
all you think about is food. It's horrible.
I after shows this year gone, I literally I'd never had a meal out after a show beforehand in previous preps. I just said to Sanaa, like, what do you fancy? So like, I think one night we stayed in and she just cooked some like homemade burgers and chips, and I just had like a bigger normal meal because I hadn't had that much. One time I got a burrito, and then one time I think we went to a Thai place or whatever, and that was that. But it was very much like I was just like, I don't really care, like, just tell me. Like, as well, like, I wasn't that battered, so it was, I think, a lot more rational. It wasn't like I was like, I need this, I need that. Like, I didn't really have too much of a thought. It was like, just do this, you know. Like when I finished in Italy, there was no places open because of where we were at, and like we just went to this like random pizza place, and I was like, oh, we're in Italy, like, we need to get pizza. That's all I said. And like, if it was like years gone by, I'd have been like, no, this is not going to be the best place. There's none of this and none of that. Like, it was just a corner shop, and it actually was a really good pizza. But it was more so a case of like, I didn't really care. I was like, I'm just tired. I want to get back. Like,
it's just food. Like,
when you've gone through the post prep period, you realise like it's just a temporary state. So like, I felt like whenever I had those sort of thoughts, like, I would almost remind myself, like, let's say for example, if I couldn't find a YouTube video in a minute, I'd just click a video and start eating. I'd have a shake instead of making it a whey pace, I'd have a shake. Like, I wasn't having monsters and stuff, and I just kind of, whenever I noticed like little things that would creep in previously, I was just like, I just don't need to do this.
What I was saying, like, we did a natural physique podcast the other day, and we were chatting about like a few things and like training during prep and stuff like that. And I said, like, I think a good mindset within a prep is like, ask yourself, would I do this in a gaining phase? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, would I try every fucking flavour of Monster in a gaining phase? No. So why would I do it now? Would I change my flavour of whey and have, instead of 45 grams of one flavour, have 4 times 11 grams? Like, no.
Mate, 1 gram under, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you wouldn't, would you? You know what I mean? So like, I think if you can ask yourself that whenever you're like making decisions, would I do this if I wasn't fucking hungry, and if I wasn't like dieting, if I was in a gaining phase, was I doing this 6 months ago, 3 months ago? No, I don't do it now then.
Yeah, I agree. Right, you're only allowed to train 10 movements to train forever.
10 now, yeah?
10, yeah, it's changed. Thoughts on most bodybuilders' fate bouldering? I'm going to jump in with this. It's not bodybuilders, it's men in general. Like, male pattern baldness is an incredible...
Most bodybuilders what, balding?
Thoughts on most bodybuilders' fate, balding. Like, you know, like, it's fate, yeah, it's going to happen. But it's like, you know, it's actually going to happen to everybody, pretty much, other than if you're genetically, like, lucky. Like, luckily, like, funnily enough, me and Finn are actually probably quite lucky in this regard. Like,
yeah, I would say it's more prone probably within bodybuilding, but it's not.
Yeah, I think
it's not like a huge percentage. I don't think. Like,
no, it's going to happen to everybody. PDs will definitely speed it up, but also like general bodily stress. Like, but additionally, it's one of those like I always say, and we've said this before. Like, you know, your mates when you grow up, you look at them afterwards when they've like if they've gone from 18 to 25 and they've drank every weekend, they've barely slept, they don't look after their food, let's say nutritionally. Usually their hair's fucked, like hairline, fucking thinning. All that
like my mates back at home, like, they'll like joke about me having like a decent head of hair and like, oh, you're fucking lucky, and it's like, I'm not lucky. Like, I
just actually look after myself.
Sleep. Yeah, genetics play a role, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, I also do look after myself.
Yeah, but also you say genetics. Obviously, people say, "Oh, it skips," but your dad's bald, you know. And I guarantee,
like your mum's dad that you get the genetics from, in it. But like...
no, regardless, if you, let's say, didn't bodybuild and instead, like, you didn't take the good practice from it, you barely washed your hair, you didn't look after your hygiene, you slept for 3 hours a night for weeks on end when you were in, let's say, uni, your hair would be way worse now, 100%. you know. So it's like one of those, and also as well, like as that bodily stress in regards to like training stress, going through fucking, let's say, preps, probably naturally, like guaranteed.
Yeah, prep, like a lot of people's hair falls out within a prep, especially like females, don't they? Hormonal like, does impact that.
Yeah, definitely. And then again, like you take PEDs, potentially going to speed that up. So yeah, obviously the things you can do, but also as well, like it is just part of the process. And I think nowadays as well, like turkey's so cheap. If your hair's something you want to fucking like, I say turkey's so cheap. Hair transplants are so cheap. Fucking Mikey got one for free. Like if Mikey Jamroz or whatever can get one for free, and he's got like 7K followers, just get followers.
He does have to post about it.
Yeah, but like regardless, like you could, you know what I mean. You could get a hair transplant if it's really that much of an issue. So yeah, right. What the fuck? If one had to be gay, who would it be, and what would their partner look like? I'm not gay. Right then, you had to be gay. What sort of dude would you go for? Oh, great.
Myron Max, like a few years ago.
Really, what you'd want like a taller? Because
I just think he's fit. I'd be the fucker.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not getting fucked.
Okay. You want someone to look good. You know who would be funny if he was to lose a bit of weight? You know, Mr. Gay England. Because he's already there, like, and he's quite thick through the lower body. You squint, you might be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really depends. There was a kid that I went to school with.
There was a kid.
Yeah, there was a kid. It was good. And like from like year 6, he was like openly gay. Like, you know, one of those guys where you're like, they're not going to grow out of it. Like, they're going to grow into it. Like, he wasn't someone who's going to grow out of being gay. He was only getting worse. And funnily enough, I remember a lad that like was in my year kissed him at a party, and he wasn't gay who kissed him, but he was like, guys, he's fucking way fitter than half the girls at this year. Like, I couldn't care. Like, he kind of did it as a joke, but he was like, it's not like I fucking wanked him off or anything, but he's way fitter than all the girls at his party. So fuck it, who the fuck cares? And like, I remember thinking to myself, like, genuinely, like, this guy was like,
was he right? Yeah.
He was right. Like, I wasn't like, you look at him and go, oh, like, you'd be like, you're actually a pretty,
quite attractive guy. Yeah.
Hey, dude. But he was like extremely feminine, so of course I'm going to think that, you know, like in regards to, of course we're going to think it, guys. But yeah, so I probably wouldn't go for like a bearded, good-looking dude. I'd probably go for a small guy that looks, if I squint, looks like a female. So yeah, that's a weird question. Fucking hell.
Who asked that?
David Gilmour. A name rings a bell. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, if you were a villain, what would your origin story be? Finn's would definitely be in the fucking cupboard, or prep. Like, you had a lot of villain, like your arc. You know, you can easily craft that.
Yeah, I feel like my life was all like sound up until probably like after that prep. So yeah, prep and breakup, and that would be my villain arc. Yours would be your dad dying, wouldn't it?
Yeah, from the age of 1.5, me being like that. So, yeah. No father. I'm trying to think, is anything else that's bad? Like, I think my grandma died, but right. No strength goals for this year, Finn?
Hold on to a 3-plate Smith for the rest of the diet would be good. Yeah. I'd like to like pull in 5 plates pretty comfortably, like with better execution than I have when I've pulled 5 plates in the past.
Yeah.
6 plates on that HD incline would be cool.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Bend like 160 would be good.
You're not far off the 160 now, aren't you? You're doing 140 as like a second set.
No, I did 140 as my first set.
Okay.
And they were good. You messaged me.
Did
I just ignored it because I was like, I know that was a good set.
I don't know, man. You know. Okay, fair enough. For me, strength goals. More so, I'd say like life goals, not fucking get injured. Like I don't really. I care about strength, but I also don't need to really get much stronger. Like I just kind of do the same sort of shit. Like, and when I feel good, I feel good. Funnily enough, I get stronger from not doing certain things. So I didn't do the Smith for like 2 weeks. I was doing the low incline barbell. Did it the other day with Ollie and Finn. I got a lifetime PR on 4.5. But if I was to do the Smith tomorrow on push, I'd regress because my joints would be battered from doing it. So it's like, it's just...
Also, like, you've been doing incline barbell, you then go to Smith and
Yeah.
it's more stable and
true, potentially.
progressive.
Yeah. But like the best session that I got on that Smith post prep was, other than that, was when I came back from America and I hadn't used a Smith for 2 weeks. Like, there's a clear correlation between me just getting not progressively weaker, but my joints just getting more battered.
I think on movements that are stable,
Yeah.
Deadlifts, if you didn't deadlift for 2 weeks,
it'd be awful.
You know, you got to build it back up again. Like, I find for me, if I don't hinge for a week, I literally regress by 4 weeks. And it's like, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's like you like, especially like a pull from the floor. It's like, well, I've never done this in my entire life.
Yeah, it's like completely. If I literally miss 1 week, I've forgotten what to do.
Yeah. It's like the range of motion feels 4 times. It's like
I just literally forget. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like,
where's the path? Where are my feet? Why does this feel 18 times longer? Like, I feel like I'm 12 foot for some reason now. Like, it just feels like, this range of motion didn't feel like this last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, right. Last question. We will go with most controversial opinion. Do you have a controversial opinion, Finn, or are you going to say PR savvy and be like, I don't have anything controversial?
I don't know, do I?
Anything that you just disagree with people? Anything you want to say?
I actually don't. I can't. Nothing's coming to mind that I would say is like, oh, I've got this really controversial opinion.
Yeah. No, I thought that, and it's like, if you said, it has to be a bit more specific, but I don't really think there's a... I'd say potentially what we mentioned the other day about newer lifters being a little bit more entitled just because of information and knowledge, and maybe like, but that's not really an opinion, that's like kind of a fact, if I'm honest. Like,
controversial. This could be classed as controversial. I think in the next like 10 to 20 years, natural bodybuilding will be close to the level of enhanced in terms of how popular it is and how how much it's broadcasted and prize money and things like that.
I think at the amateur level, I don't unfortunately think it will ever be at the top level. But that's only down to the fact that, like, let's say, for example, I guarantee F2 is popular to some, but we don't know because we don't watch the best.
Yeah, I agree. But I just think it is progressing at a very good rate, and I think it will become more and more popular.
If you said that amateur, especially within the UK, but amateur natural bodybuilding is rapidly rising in popularity and climbing, catching, let's say enhanced, 100%. And I'd also argue, if PCA didn't exist, mate, a UK DFBA show is getting way more people than a Two Bro show. You know, so I'd already argue that. And with PCA going down the natural side, 1,000,000%. But I would also say, like, again, if you imagine, not us, like the dads, you flick on Instagram reels, you see Samson Dowder and you're 47, you're like, what the fuck is that? You see, I don't know, who's a good natty, that Babacar dude. You would look at him and you'd be thinking, wow, he's really good, but the average person wouldn't even comprehend that he's natural. You just assume, or they saw a natural bodybuilder and they go, he looks right, you know, like. Yeah,
well, I think that's different. That's the general population. They don't even know the difference between enhanced and not, or they think everyone's on steroids, or they don't even know that anyone's on steroids. Like,
I do get that, but yeah, to be fair, I don't think that's controversial. I think that's like quite factually correct in the sense of, like, you look at popularity. Definitely.
I'm not saying in 20 years, like, the natural Mr. Olympia will be bigger than the Mr. Olympia. It won't.
Yeah,
but I think
definitely not. The show was fucking
no. Yeah, not that one anyway. But I think in 10, 20 years, like, it might be where, you know, the WMBF World's winner is sponsored by Gymshark and they've got a huge following just because they're fucking good. You know what I mean? Like Eddie, who won this year at Worlds, he's got a good following within natural bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not that well known. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, but he maybe in 10, 20 years he would be, because he'd be known as that guy who's just won the Worlds. Like Samson would be known as who's won Mr. Olympia, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, I don't really have a controversial opinion. I think, like I said, nowadays a lot of people coming into the gym probably think a little bit too much into it, and I think again, when we were younger, again, it's easy to say in hindsight, but we definitely were a bit more we looked up to the people that did their shit properly, and I think we also like tried to emulate and learn. But nowadays, I feel like people come in and they're like, we're all the same. I've read this, so therefore we're cool.
People are more focused on what they've read and the research. And
just like let you know, and it's like, well, you know, like I did a reel on this, and it's like if I said, like, let's say to anybody listening to this, you have, let's say, a life-altering surgery. Would you rather have it done by somebody who's read 1,000 books but not done one, or done it 1,000 times but not read a new recent book? You choose the guy who's done it more. Like, and I think again, like nowadays, you get kind of kids who are coming into it and they're like, oh, we're all the same. You know, I'm in my off season. It's like, bro, you never even prepped. Like, I didn't call myself a bodybuilder till probably a couple of years ago, and I already competed.
No.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't. I just go to the gym and lift weights.
Yeah, like,
you know?
when me and Megan went over to Spain for her mum's 60th, it was like a party for her mum's 60th, and somebody came up to me, I can't remember who it was, just like one of her mum's friends, and was like, oh, so, you know, you're Finn, you're a bodybuilder. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I just go to the gym. I was like, I don't think of myself as a bodybuilder. I wouldn't introduce myself as a bodybuilder. But obviously I wasn't a dick. I was like, when she said it, I was like, yeah, you could say that. I was like, I don't really introduce myself as a bodybuilder though.
Yeah, no, I get that. So, yeah. Cool. Right, we shall leave it there because I have a call with a guy with a lot of followers. So again, he can ask me some questions about PDs, which is quite cool. So yeah, right, Finn, good podcast. Anything that you would like to leave us on? Anything that you would like to say as the message for the week?
Just, why are you gay?
Yeah, and I will leave it back and say, if I happen to be gay, would you fancy it?
No.
Nah, that's shit.
You look like you're gonna die.
Every gay guy wants to fuck me though, you know. Every single gay guy. Quote Stifler, American Pie 2. Every gay guy wants to fuck me, of course. So anyway, we'll leave it there, guys. Hopefully everyone has a great gay week. Bye-bye.